was all just created by our own minds. So we went all wild, filming lots of stuff, yelling action, action. There's no stopping us. More action than Batman swimming with sharks. Steve played a mutant who could see in the dark. We even convinced Dookie to dress as a princess, and he did pretty good in that big dress. We make the movies, and each week we show them to our friends, and they usually free. Action. First I asked my mom, and then we made some comedy action dramas, sci-fi adventures, we live bonkers, romantic thrillers with crazy monsters. Called action. First I asked my mom, and then we made some comedy action dramas, sci-fi adventures, we live bonkers, romantic thrillers with crazy monsters. Called action, action,
action. And you know what? These are all fiction, like comedy, drama, science fiction. Those are all fiction. Remember, fiction is fate. Justin, put it away, or it is mine. Thank you. Yes, you can. All right, so we are going to go over the next couple of words. I think the last time what we drew was entire, correct? I ate an entire pizza. All right, your next one, fragile. I want you to do two things for me. I want you to draw something that is fragile, and then I want you to give me a synonym, which is a word that means the same. Two items, two things. Draw something that's fragile that you visualize or think of, and then give me a synonym, another word for fragile. Remember, a synonym is not a definition. It is one word that means the same thing as fragile. You've got 45 seconds. Go. Good. I see Henry working. Juan, you're writing yours down. Jessalee, so are you. Talia, please put that away. Talia, please put that away. You are drawing something that is fragile and giving me a synonym. My friend 346TT, I need to see your face. Your camera is up on the ceiling, and I need you to change your name. Who is that? 346TT.
Juan, let's make sure we're focused and not have our siblings distracting us.
Gianna, can you change your name for me? Amaya, please turn your camera on, or you will be removed from the meeting. Thank you. I need to see your face, and I need to see that you are writing. Thank you. All right. Hold it up, my friends at school. Hold it up. Let's hear what you got. Kendrick, what'd you draw?
I drew windows because they're made out of glass.
Excellent. You drew windows because they're made out of glass. Who can give me a synonym, another word for fragile? Natalie. Breakable. Very good. My friends at home, hold it up. I want to see those great pictures. Good. Ryan, tell me what you drew.
I drew like a wine bottle, but then I kind of erased some of it and then made arrows point at the bottom of the page, and then I just drew lines of pieces.
Yes, a glass bottle is definitely going to break if you drop it, right? And I know I have done that before. I've definitely dropped a glass bottle and it has shattered everywhere. Erase your board. Next one. Heroic. A hero. Think of the word hero. Heroic. Someone that's brave. I want you to draw someone and actually put their name next to your drawing of someone that you know or you've seen that is heroic. Go. You may not know them. It may be someone you've seen or a certain type of job that's heroic. I want to see. Go. So someone you know that is heroic. You've got 15 seconds left. Don't forget to put their name or their job or role. Five seconds. And hold it up, my friends at school and at home. Hold it up, hold it up. Hold it up. Good. Miss Caldwell, can you give me one from your class? What is someone that they know, who is heroic?
Logan's from his dad because he's from the army, right?
Love it, Logan. I think, yes, anyone in the military is very heroic. Wonderful. Lily, you've got a good description. Let's hear what you said.
My brother, I have a huge bed with a slide, and my brother, he wasn't listening to me. He almost fell off, and my cousin caught him.
Oh, so your cousin was the heroic one who was very brave that stepped in and caught him. Wonderful. I want to hear one from someone at home. Alana, let's see what you got.
I drew my daddy because my daddy is very heroic to me. He's like my hero.
Oh, I love that. These are so great. Wonderful. You guys can erase your board. Last one for the day. Indicate. Can everyone say that with me? You guys can take yourself off mute at home. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Indicate. Good. Indicate means to point to. You can see that this sign, this road sign, is indicating that it's going to be a sharp turn. Okay? It's going to be a sharp turn. So I need to be prepared while I'm driving. So I want you to draw what you visualize or what you picture in your mind when you hear the word indicate. Go. I see Brayden already is writing or drawing his. And if you want to put a brief description next to your drawing, that's fine with me as well. Indicate means to point to. It says the sign indicates that there is a bend in the road. Synonyms are show or point out. This is our last one for the day. Show me with your fingers how much time you need, my friends at school and my friends at home. 0, 1, or 2. All right, you get 30 seconds. See if you can challenge yourself to draw something different than what we have up on the screen. All right, 5 seconds left. And hold it up. Yes, who said, can I go? I would love to hear. Who is that?
Me, it's Jessie.
Jessie, tell us what you drew. Describe for us.
I drew some mountains, and then I wrote, look, there's a mountain.
Ah, it's indicating that there is a mountain. Excellent, Jessie. Aiden M., what'd you draw? And so it is indicating what? That there is a sharp turn ahead? Very good. One more, Brayden. Tell us what you drew.
I did a sign pointing to that house.
The sign pointing to the house, it's indicating that there is a house. Did anyone else do something that was not sign related? Not Layla.
Well, our car blinkers is on.
Ah, car blinkers. It's indicating that you're like if your car blinker is on, it's indicating you are making a turn. Well done. Akaya, last one.
I drew a car stopping beside someone to ask them for directions and then pointing them to a direction for them to go.
So the person in the car is indicating, oh, you need to go this way. Good. Erase your board, my friends at school. Please put your whiteboard away so it's not a distraction. My friends at home, you can erase you are going to need something to write on. Today, it's fine if it's a whiteboard. So my friends at school, you have your passage out, you have your whiteboard away, and you have your pencil and your highlighter. Okay. So today, we are going to be talking about, we're still talking about characters and how they change. We've got static characters. Put a thumb up or a thumb down. Yes, if static characters change. No, if static characters don't change. Put a thumb up if static characters change. Put a thumb down if they don't change. Everybody, I want to see you at home as well. My friends at home, I should see a thumb up or a thumb down. Thumb up if static characters change. Thumb down if they don't change. So I should see all thumbs down. A static character stays the same, right? Good. What about a dynamic character? Henry, does a dynamic character change or stay the same?
A dynamic character changes.
Excellent. So put a thumb up. A dynamic character changes. They change over time. You may not like them in the beginning and then you like them by the end. Or you may really like them in the beginning and then by the end, you don't like them. That happens a lot in movies as well. So we're going to continue to talk about characters, how they change. But we're going to add something to this. So my essential question for the day, and you can whisper read with me if you want. How can I identify the problem or struggle in a story and differentiate, which means tell the difference, among types of internal and external conflicts? All right, so what we're going to talk about is with our main character, they are going through a problem either internally or with something else externally. Show me what we did for our hand motion for internal. Internal means inside. I need everyone to be pointing to the inside. Good, Alana. I love that. Internal means it's something within yourself. What about external? Everybody show me our external. Good, Juan. Your external, it is the outside. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. And I want you, as we're reading, to think about, is this character dealing with something internally, inside himself, or externally, outside? Okay? And I'm actually going to pull something up on the screen real quick and show you what I mean by that. So sometimes external conflict will be a person and a person. If you're having a fight or a disagreement with a person, that's external. A person and nature, or a person and society, like a group of people. Internal is when you're having a struggle or a problem inside yourself. No one else is involved, okay? And we've all had both of those. So as we're reading today, I want you to be thinking about that. So on your paper, you're going to give me a little bit of background knowledge before you start. And you may not know anything, and that's okay. But if you do, I want you to write down, what do you know? Do you guys know anything about World War II? And I'm just going to put WW, and then that's the Roman numeral for 2. Does anyone know anything about World War II? If you do, you can write it down and you can raise your hand. Does anyone know anything about World War II? Any schema or background knowledge? My friends at home, raise your hand if you do know something. It's okay if you don't. My friends in class, does anyone know anything about World War II? Braden is exactly right. He said it was a war. Miss Caldwell, does anyone in your class know anything about World War II?
No, but Ryan wanted to say something.
Ryan, what do you know about World War II?
Oh, I know like a lot of fights. Like D-Day was one of the bloodiest fights.
Yes, it was one of the bloodiest battles. D-Day was a part of World War II. You might have heard of Pearl Harbor, which was a bombing. Yes. So let me give you just a quick background. World War II, it was a world war, which means many different countries were involved. Lots of European countries like Germany and France and Italy. The United States was involved. And we were actually fighting against Germany. And we were teamed up, or allies. Allies is a good thing, it's a partner with France. So this text takes place during and right after World War II. Okay? I'm not going to go into great detail about it because it's long. So, is this going to be fiction or nonfiction? Put a 1 up if you think it's fiction, a 2 if you think it's nonfiction. My friends at home, I should see a 1 or a 2. What do you think? So there is a main character. He is not a real person, but some of the events in the story have actually happened. So it's actually fiction. And does anyone know what kind of fiction? Natalie?
Realistic.
Not realistic fiction. You're close. It starts with an H. Historical fiction. So let's all write that. I want you to write it on your whiteboard if you're doing it with me. I want you to write it on your sheet if you have it. So this is historical fiction.
Are we supposed to have this sheet?
No, you do not have this sheet. It's on Google Classroom, but you're just following along with your whiteboard. And you're just writing this on your whiteboard at the very top right now. And I'm just going to put HF in parentheses. That's our short version. So with historical fiction, the characters are not real people, but some of the events are events that happened in our history. So World War II is going to take place. They're going to talk about this in the passage. That is something that really happened in real life in our world's history. But our character Jacques is not a real person in real life. That's historical fiction. Okay, just a quick background about that. So as I'm reading, I want you to be looking and thinking, does Jacques have any conflict or problems with himself or other people? Thumb up if you are ready to start following along with me. And I might do some popcorn reading. I might call on someone to read some of it. So be ready. You should be following along with your eyes or on your paper. All right, paragraph number 1. And some of the words will be French because remember, this takes place in France. Jacques couldn't keep from grinning as he rode his bicycle along the cobblestone road past the old castle and down the town square. From a mile away, he could hear singing and cheering as townsfolk, those are just people in town, celebrated the end of Hitler's war. That was World War II. We can just put WW2 next to Hitler's war.
Hitler was a really bad man.
Hitler was a German who wanted to pretty much kill anyone that was not like him. Yes. That day, August 26, 1944, Charles de Gaulle marched triumphantly, if you could underline triumphantly, and just write proud. Triumphantly means proudly, into Paris, and the proud song of Les Marseillais lifted millions of hearts. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but Les Marseillais, you know how we have the national anthem? Oh, say, can you see? Not my best singing. That they have a national anthem as well for France. So people were going around in town and singing that. All right, I'm on paragraph 2. Jacques not only grinned for France, But also, okay, Aiden, but also because he had found the last bicycle in town. His friends stopped in their tracks when they saw his bicycle. Can you stop in your tracks and kind of look like you've seen the last bicycle? Good. You look so surprised and you're kind of frozen. Very good. I'm going to pull my screen down real quick. Hey, Jacques, where'd you get that bike? Jacques felt a lump in his throat when he squeezed out the words, "My brother Felipe hit it really well." The boys fell quiet. Pierre, one of Jacques' schoolmates, said at last, it sure is a beautiful bike." And we're going to learn something about our main character and his brother Felipe in just a minute. All right. My picture is very faint on the screen. What it's showing is just people cheering in town. And then on the right, there is a picture of him riding the bicycle. I am right over here now on paragraph 6. Yes, Felipe loved it. Hey, anyone want to ride? The boys clamored. Me, let me ride it, Jacques. What do you think clamored means? Axel, what do you think clamored means? So he said, the boys clamored, me, let me ride it, Jacques. What do you think clamored means, Axel?
Like really excited to try it.
You're exactly right. They shouted it. They're very excited. If you could just highlight that word and write shouted above or next to. So they all want to ride this last bike that they found in town. After they all took turns, Pierre offered, "I'll pay 10 francs for it." A franc is their like cents. That's like their money. So if you want to put a little money symbol next to that, that's fine. Jacques laughed. "It's not for sale." The bicycle was priceless beyond measure. Almost nothing was for sale in Yzeure, not bicycles or cars or fuel, only secondhand clothes and rusty tools. Food was scarce. Everybody highlight that word scarce. Food was scarce. What do you think scarce means, Alexis? So they don't have anything new in town. And food is very scarce after the war. What do you think? Do you think they have a lot of food or not a lot of food?
Not a lot.
Very good. Not a lot. So food was scarce. Edgy, wary of danger, people emerged from their stone cottages and scattered farms, getting used to a world without constant fear. A few shops and an inn opened. Trains ran, carrying mostly troops. So that's really important. I'm going to pause there for a minute. My friends at home, please make sure you are on mute. And I'm just going to put a little star next to this paragraph. So it says, food was scarce. People were weary of danger, which means still scared. But people started to come out from their homes and their stores, and they're getting used to a world without constant fear. On your whiteboard right now, or my friends with the passage just next to, I want you to write down, why do you think people are still living in fear right now? Write that down. Go. You've got like 1 minute or less. You are writing down, based on what we just read next to my green star, why do you think people are still fearful? What do you think they're fearful about? Go. So you guys can do it on your whiteboard or you can do it on your paper, your choice. My friends at home, I should see everybody writing that down. Just a quick little stop and jot. What does this tell us? Why are they still living? Why are they in fear still? What can we infer or figure out based on this paragraph? You've got 15 seconds left. A quick stop and jot. And then my friends at home, hold it up when you are done. My friends at school, same thing. And you can just hold up your paper, Lily. Yeah, I gave you the option to do either. Good. All right, Juan, why do you think they are still fearful? What are you thinking, Juan? Why do you think the people in town are still very fearful and on edge? Juan, you got to take yourself off mute. Juan, you're still on mute. Juan, send me a message in the chat. I'm not sure what's going on. I want to hear from someone else at home. Gianna, why do you think they're so fearful? Quickly, Gianna, I need you to sit up, take yourself off mute, and share your answer, please. Gianna, please take yourself off mute. Thank you. Why do you think they're so fearful?
Very uncommon. Yesterday, we did not see President Trump on camera after his 3 a.m. press conference. We don't know if we're going to see him.
Gianna, please stay on at the end of the lesson. I would like to talk with you privately. I would go somewhere where there's not a TV so you can focus. Natalie, what do you think?
I think they're fearful after they don't have much food and everything, and they meet up in their home.
Yes, Natalie said she thinks they're still scared. Maybe there will be bombings. They don't know if the war is officially over, and they've been used to this life for the past 4 years. Very good. Let's keep on reading. You can put your whiteboard down. Okay. But no one forgot the awfulness of war, especially Jacques. 4 years earlier, Felipe, remember his brother, had told him, I heard that in Chinon, the enemy torched the buildings and smashed whatever was left. They'll come here next. So that's another reason why they are very fearful. Jacques' family hid what they could in the rubble, which is like debris, of old castles. Jacques and Felipe stashed the bike up in the tower. The enemy raided the castle soon after, but the bicycle survived. Do you know what a raid is? So the enemy, like the Germans, went in and took everything, but they didn't see the bicycle. They didn't find it, which was good. But kind, handsome Felipe went to war for his beloved France and didn't return. What did we just find out about his brother? His brother went to war and didn't return, which means his brother passed away. It tells you right here, he did not return, which means he died. So we just found out that Jacques' brother, who gave him the bicycle, ended up dying at the war. I want you to highlight that if you are at school. For Jacques, nothing would ever be the same, though now he could finally once more breathe the air of freedom. So his life is not the same, but luckily the war is over. I have a quick question for you that I want you to write down either on your paper or on your whiteboard. So now that we've learned a little more about Jacques and we've learned what happened to Felipe, why do you think that bike is so important to Jacques? Remember, he said it's priceless. It's not for sale. stop and jot on your whiteboard or on your sheet. Why do you think this bike is so important to Jock? Go. And I'm just going to write it on the screen for those of you at home. This is a stop and jot on your whiteboard. I should see everyone at home jotting this down. I'm going to call on 3 folks, so be ready. You've got about 20 more seconds. All right, Miss Caldwell, can you call on one of your friends in your classroom for me? Why do they think this bike is so important to Jacques?
Thais, what do you think?
He said that because it's his, it was from his brother, and she doesn't want to sell it because it reminds him of his brother.
Yes, raise your hand if you did something very similar. Excellent. Thais, I think that was perfect. I don't think we even need to. I think that's exactly what we all thought. So very good, Thais. We're going to keep on moving on. So yes, this bicycle reminds him of his brother who he lost because of the war. And he does not want to. It's one of the only things he has as a reminder of him. Please
Mom,
go
do you have a question?
No.
Okay.
Okay, please go to the next page, my friends at school. Flip to the next page. I'm at the top. All right, now I want you to really think about internal or external conflict because we're going to be introduced to a problem. One morning, he pedaled along past the vineyards, the scent of newly planted grapes on the breeze. The French countryside was coming alive. He turned onto the paved highway that led to Paris. Ahead, he saw a man in soldier's clothing. So he's a man dressed in military gear. Jacques' stomach tightened. You know when you get that knot in your stomach? It means you're nervous or fearful or you have anxiety. Recently, there had been rumors that enemy spies still hid in the countryside. Jacques again tasted the bitterness of fear. So how does he feel right now? Just say it for me. Scared. Very good. The uniform, dusty and worn, was not French. So it was not a French soldier. The stranger's shoulders hunched under a heavy backpack, straightened as he turned and stared at Jacques. And then at the bicycle. Felipe's bicycle. Jacques gripped the handlebars until his knuckles turned white. So why, Braden, why do you think he's holding on? Why are his knuckles turning white? Why is he holding on to the handlebars so tight?
So the soldier can't steal the bike.
So the soldier can't steal the bike. Excellent. Jacques turned to sound normal, unafraid. All right, so this is French. Bonjour, monsieur. Comment allez-vous? Which means hello, how are you? Monsieur means mister. Bonjour, I'm sorry, but I don't speak French very well, the man answered. Jacques was relieved. Give me a sigh of relief. Good. You're an American. Why are you still here? So he's relieved. He sees that it's an American. Remember, the French and the Americans were allies. They were partners during the war. I stayed behind to treat small children. I'm an army doctor. You care for the French as well as Americans? Jacques asked. Of course. there has been an outbreak of scarlet fever. That was a disease. Jacques could see the exhaustion on the man's face. All right, so I want you to underline or highlight the word exhaustion. What does exhaustion mean? One of my friends at home, if he can see the exhaustion in his face. Samuel, what's exhaustion mean?
It's like you're really tired and you're tired of walking and running.
Excellent. You are really, really tired. Please make sure you've got that down on your paper, my friends at home. So he could see the exhaustion on the man's face. I've just come from the train station. I missed the last train to Paris. And now I might lose my place on the ship that will take me back to America. His shoulders drooped. I want you to show me that your shoulders are drooping. Everybody hunch your shoulders up. My friends at home, Jess-Elise, sit up. And then droop them down. It's a feeling of he's discouraged, right? Okay. You see, my father is very ill. I must go home. Then a hopeful spark lit up in his eyes. May I borrow your bike, son? Oh. Borrow? But I'd never get it back. The man pulled a gun from his backpack. Jacques drew back. So he sees a gun and he steps back. I'll give you anything. This gun is valuable. I'll trade it for the bicycle. So he's trying to trade his gun for the bicycle. Jacques shook his head. No guns. And that's where we're going to stop today. Right where I am, right where I put this star. And I have an exit ticket for you. Your exit ticket is going to go, my friends at school, on a sticky note. My friends at home in the chat privately to Miss Caldwell or myself. So I want to know, he's got this internal struggle, right? It's an internal struggle. It's a problem. My friends, eyes up here. Thank you. Does he help the American and give him the bike and never see the bike again? Or does he keep the bike for himself because it's so important to him and not help the American? So that is an internal, everybody point to your chest. That's an internal conflict. He has a problem within himself. What does he do? So what I want you to do, I have a 2-part exit ticket for you. You are going to need to tell me what you predict he's going to do. Do you think he's going to give the bike to the American? Or do you think he's going to keep Felipe's bike for himself? And then I want you to share a time when you had an internal conflict, where you had to make a decision, where you didn't know what you were supposed to do, and you weren't having a problem with someone else. It was something internal. So there are 2 parts to this. I'm just going to write it down real quick and then give you some time. Part 1 of your exit ticket is you're making a prediction of what you think Jacques is going to do next. And then part 2 is you are sharing a time when you had internal conflict. Okay? My friends at home, you are putting this in the chat. Make sure you have both parts. Any questions? Do you guys have stickies? All right, you may begin. Brayden, just act like you're gonna talk to me for a few minutes. You'll get to do your sticky in just a minute. Don't worry. You guys, where do you guys want to stick it? You want to stick it over there? Don't forget. Yeah, you answered both questions and put your name. There's 2 parts.
Wait, what was the question again?
I put it up on the chat. your first part of your exit ticket is predict what you think he's going to do next. Second part is share a time where you had an internal conflict with yourself. So when you write it in the chat, I want you to give me both parts. I want you to give me part 1 and part 2. So right now I'm only seeing a lot of people are giving me their prediction, but I want to see both parts.
Can your internal conflicts be about anything you were nervous about?
Yeah, it could be a decision that you had to make for yourself or something that you struggled with internally. It just needs to make sure that it's not with anyone else. You're not solving a problem or having a disagreement with someone else. Remember, this is internal and external. Internal, conflict between a character and him or herself. The character struggles to take place in his or her own mind. So it's a conflict that you have within your mind. Boys and girls, please give me both parts in the chat. Do not give me just one part. In order to leave my class, you've got to have your prediction and share your internal conflict. I want to see them both at the same time. You can stick it up, and then you guys can work on your trading card or read until we start our next part. Yep. Good. Ava, I need part 2. Jessalee, you may go. Thank you for giving me both parts. Bye. Juan, I need part 2. I need your internal conflict. Ava, I need your internal conflict. Ryan, I need your internal conflict. Alana, I need your internal conflict.
Akaya, thank you for giving me both. Please make sure you're on at 10:30.
Good, Alana, you may go.
I'm Miss Caldwell, by Miss Brisson.
Bye.
By everybody else in the classroom.
See you at 10:30.
Okay.
Samuel, you may go. Remember,
Daniel, I should see you at 10:30, sir.
yes. Remember, the question is, first you're predicting, you're telling what you think is going to happen next. What do you think Jacques is going to do? Is he going to give the gun, he's going to give the bike to the American? Or is he going to keep the bike? And then, your second part, you're sharing a time that you had internal conflict with yourself. You had a problem that you had to deal with internally, inside yourself.
Great job, Talia. Thank you so much. I'll
Hello.
see you at 10:30.
Hi. Oh, are you pulling? Yeah. Kendrick
Juan,
is
I'm
ready.
missing one of
Where's
yours.
Matt? Where are my reading friends?
Your second part one.
No, you're fine. Yeah, yes, because it's just my age group, Bryson and Addison. Okay, I will, yeah. Bye. Good one. You may go. Ryan, you may go. Amaya, make sure you give me part 2 where you share your internal conflict.
Bye, Miss Brisson.
Bye, Ryan. I'll see you at 10:30. Good. Ava, you may go. You guys can work on your trading card or read.
Can I go back to the live? Did you want to send kids in so they could do their assessment?
So I don't have any for reading, but we did
Monday.
Monday. My friends on Zoom, you guys have about 1 more minute to send me your chat. And then we've got to go and you'll have to send me a private message later. We've got to get this exit ticket done within the next minute and a half. Good, Aiden P, make sure you share your internal conflict as well.